Hey, welcome to this week with Chris and Bob. It's the first week of January.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, so
we're terrible at planning, by the way. We talk about what we're going to talk about, and then we just forget. We
yeah.
don't write it down. So
So
last week,
I know we had a couple things we talked about last week, Chris, that we were going to
yeah,
talk about today. I don't remember what it was. There's been holiday time and more data breaches than we know about. Although I did get I did I'm working on a new a meme. Everyone hears about famous Benjamin Franklin quote of the only thing that's guaranteed to happen are death and taxes.
hmm,
I'm gonna do one now. It's death, taxes, and a cyber breach.
we're really selling positivity on that note.
Hey,
Everybody loves taxes and cyber incidents, and well,
put them all
death.
together at this point.
There you go. Well, it could be the death of your business, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I got a good one. So I have a video I just created. I haven't actually posted it yet, so I don't know if if that'll get posted before this gets posted. We do these live, but sometimes we post them a little later. But there's leak sites on the dark web for these ransomware groups, right? And I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw this one, but this one's pretty cool. Well, not cool in a good sense. Uh, this is a firm that does accounting and financial services in the United States, and they got breached and they got ransomed. They didn't pay the ransom. They ended up on the leak site. Okay, normal stuff that happens. However, these guys went out and they did a typo squatted domain.
Oh no.
They took a copy of their website and then they changed the navigation from like navigating their website to navigating their files that they posted in the clear web. The clear web being basically anybody can get to it from a browser.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a new technique. Uh, I guess for extortion or embarrassment
I guess
because
I guess they didn't pay the ransom.
they didn't pay the ransom. They're still on the leak site. But to go out and typo squat somebody's domain and then post it, take a copy of their website and just change the navigation and post it, it's that's doing somebody dirty. That's all I say about that. Like that's like the dirtiest thing ever. And we've seen extortion over just kind of get overhauled like in the last like couple of years. It used to be you get hit with ransomware, whatever, that's one extortion. Then they went double extortion where they're like, well, we're gonna leak the data. And then they started moving to triple extortion where it's like they start calling your customers, letting them know that you got hit with ransomware and that they have the data. But to actually go out and make a copy of their website and just do that is actually, I don't want to say entertaining because it's terrible, but it's kind of entertaining.
Well, it just goes back, it goes back to that the cyber criminals have nothing but time on their hands.
Yep.
They have a plan. They're
Yep.
trying different things to see what people are going to do. And there was one that I didn't see all the research on it yet, but I saw one that the bad guys were going after job hunters and offering them jobs,
Mhm.
and then onboarding them as employees for fake companies, getting them to sign up for Bitcoin and order and even say, oh, this is work at home, so go to this special store that's set up to buy product. And people guys are going through it. They're like, oh well, I'm getting 2 weeks to train. I met with the HR manager. We're all set to go, and it wasn't even a real company.
That's a long con.
It is a long con, but
That's that's a pretty impressive long con when you think about it. Like just to go through that setup because that's pretty. I want to see their playbook honestly because like that's pretty impressive from that standpoint. Like how much that would take to actually set up and run efficiently.
yeah, but think about it. Everyone, you got everyone that wants to stay at home now, and they're seeing these job postings online.
Yeah,
Oh, this is the company. Well, they put up a fake website. They hire a couple, have a HR manager reach out to them, put them through some HR training, and they think they're get a job. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty scummy. There's another one going around too. You ever heard of the Flipper Zero?
No.
It's it's a device that you can like it's a good penetration testing device because you can like I don't know, you can clone RFIDs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, they're sold out constantly, and now they're setting up fake websites to try to trick people that want to buy one into going to these websites, and then they take payment in like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and of course they're never getting the device. So they're trying to basically trick the information security people into doing this. The con never stops. Let's be real, the con never stops. I posted a video, what was it, a week ago, where they're talking about Google Ads are now being used to more and more now just to get to the top of Google, and they won't be legitimate websites. They'll be typo squatted domains that people go to and get tricked and download malware and things like that. But to that point, last week I talked about how we're going to change our strategy in our business, and I kind of want to share that a little bit. And I'll hold back. I don't know how much I'll hold back, but we'll talk about this. I think the problem that we've had as an industry has been leading with technical before going strategic. And what I mean by that is a lot of IT companies come in and they just say, hey, we have all these cool tools. We're going to do all this stuff, but they never actually focus on the strategy for the business to look at the risk, look at what's actually going on, learn the business, and then actually deploy tools based off of that strategy. I think that's been a big problem with the industry. I think it's been a big problem with just, I don't know, just the thought process in general.
Absolutely.
Because we talk to prospects all the time, and like a lot of them are just like, well, we just want you for this one thing. And it's like, well, hold on. Unfortunately, we're involved in a lot of your business. So learning your business and having a strategy is kind of important.
Right. Well, but a lot of people want you for that one thing until they need you for something else, or they
Yep.
have a cyber breach and they're like, oh, you were taking care of that, and people are like, oh no, you only got email from us, or we only
Yep.
did email because that's all you wanted. And we've been changing, just like you, we've been changing that discussion around.
Yep.
This is no longer an IT play. This is a business play. What are we going to do to protect your business?
Well, I'm changing my business, and you can tell me if I'm crazy, and I'm sure people will drop a comment down below if they watch this and tell me I'm crazy, but we've been changing the business anyway to go more towards security and risk management and things like that. I don't know if people understand this, but the managed IT space is very resource intensive, right? From a time standpoint, from a people standpoint. And if you're not aligned, like if we're not aligned with the customer as well as we need to be, it becomes a really big burden to both sides, right? Well, I'm thinking about flipping the business to where that managed IT is invite only, and it's invite only after 90 days.
Okay.
The first 90 days is all strategy. And if I think that you're a good fit and we're a good fit for offering those IT services to you, that's fine. Otherwise, I'd rather stay in this strategic position and help companies manage it. And if they want to use somebody else for IT, I'm okay with that. And then help them actually make sure that they're making good decisions in the business, because I'm kind of just sick of playing the game of like everybody's like, well, somebody will do it for cheaper. Well, yeah, somebody will do it for cheaper because that's the case in everything, right? But
Sure.
if you have no strategy and you go into a business and you're trying to do IT and you're trying to do cybersecurity and stuff like that, it's just going to fail. It's going to fail eventually. Hey, Sadie.
Yep, Sadie's in the background. Some mailman showed up or something.
But yeah, I've never really thought about doing the invite only, but I'm considering it. Something I'm considering. And it may sound pretentious to some people, but it really is something that I feel very strongly about this, where I want to make sure that I have perfect alignment. We have perfect alignment with the customer, because we had a few customers that we mutually parted ways with this year because they weren't aligned, and it didn't make sense to continue because it was just getting to a point where it wasn't worth it on our end, and it probably wasn't worth it for them either.
We've been in that same boat. You get clients that just want you to go fix the computer when no one's around, not talk to their people, and oh, by the way, I don't ever want to meet with you. And we had one client that blew us off 3 months in a row.
Yep.
Of having meetings, and that he called, and at that point I was like, they need to go. and they're now working with another provider, which is fine with us, and that's what we did. People think tell me I'm crazy for firing a client, but
Well, and I don't think just to be in the same page. It's not a power play on our part, and I don't want people to misconstrue that we're trying to do a power play. We're trying to make sure that both sides are successful. If it's just going to be a headbutt situation with the customer, if they think that they know better and that's the way it's going to be, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like, you're hiring us because we're experts. You're not hiring us because you could do it yourself. And it's like going into a doctor and then challenging the doctor, like you have cancer or something like that, challenging the oncologist saying, are you sure it's really that cancer? Are you sure it's really cancer? After they've done a biopsy and they've confirmed everything like that, it's like, okay, well, it's just not worth it. So
yeah. I was, I had the unfortunate incident of losing a tooth before Christmas, and one of the things that popped up in Google yesterday was DIY dentistry.
That is a terrible idea.
That is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to cost me a lot of money to fix my mouth, and dental insurance sucks. But the fact that there was even sites out there called DIY dentistry, and I was like, no way.
You're going to send me down a rabbit hole today. Now I kind of want to see how bad this is going to get. We can do DIY catheterization, DIY plastic surgery.
And on note, thanks for joining us this week for.
But no, it's serious conversation. I mean, I think we obviously all need strategy. I think that's one thing. Again, we go back to this, but it's one thing that I think is really missing with small businesses. It's really missing with even medium businesses. I have a prospect who has more than 400 endpoints, and they don't know what assets they have.
400.
They've got to a point. Yeah, they do a lot of revenue, and they've got to a point where they don't know what assets they have. And they're struggling with paralysis by analysis, because I gave them a solution for doing asset management, and it was going to cost them money. It was going to cost them every month. And they're like, well, we thought this was a one-time cost. Okay. Is asset management a one-time thing? No, asset management is a continuous operation. It's not a one-time thing. You don't just count your assets today and just assume they're going to be the same 6 months from now. Right. So exactly. Tracking, that's important. That's probably the first thing that people need to do. So that's why the strategy is so important, about getting up front, knowing that we're going to have steps. We have a roadmap for the customers that we're going to take them through their journey. And if they're a good fit to go into the managed IT space, great. If they're not, I want to stick with the strategy and make sure that we have the most impact on their business and provide the most value for them that we can. And if I don't feel like they're a good fit for it, I just don't want to do it. And people might call me crazy, and that's fine.
I'm not going to call you crazy, because when it comes right down to it, a client that's not a good fit for you is probably not a good fit for them either. And like you said, you're going to be headbutting all the time, and no one's going to be happy.
Yeah. And it's just toxic. Yeah.
And it also sounds like you've been around Mike for a while.
No. Maybe. That's another side conversation. But no, I spend a lot of time thinking about this, because, like, I mean, we're all in business, right? We all have to think about our business, like, and work on it. And I hate that whole thing, like, work on it, don't work in it. But I mean, reality is we work in our business, we work on it too. But I've spent a lot of time recently just thinking about that. Like, how can we provide better value to prospects and customers, and also get the buy-in early? And I think that's the struggle with us, is just in general in the space, is getting the buy-in from the customer. People don't love change. They don't want to change IT providers. They don't want to do that. And that's fine. I get that. It's scary. But if somebody's not willing to spend money with us for us to do like an assessment for them and actually give them valuable information, regardless of whether they choose to go with us or not, I'm just going to move on. Because if you're not willing to spend some portion to basically make sure that you're doing things right, then I really can't help you. Because our time is valuable, right? We work in a space where salaries aren't $20,000 a year. Let's put it that way. It's expensive to pay for insurance. It's expensive to pay for this, and this is something that we are very specialized companies. And unfortunately, that costs money to keep running. And
Absolutely.
if you're not willing to play ball with us, then unfortunately, I got to move
the
on.
amount of training time that the two of us do already.
Dude, yeah.
Chris and I will be heading to I don't know, we're heading somewhere in a couple weeks.
Arizona.
Yeah. But yeah.
Hey, at least we'll have scenery when you do it there. There's a white wall behind me, which I make fun of all the time. We'll do some scenery there.
Maybe I'll do I'm gonna actually head to the Grand Canyon one day, so I'll do a live from there.
You're gonna beat me. I'm not going to Grand Canyon. But yeah, comment down below what you guys think. Like, it doesn't matter what business you're in. It doesn't matter what you do, but what kind of struggles do you have with your customers? What kind of struggles do you have providing value, like showing that to the customers and things like that? Because I don't know, Bob and I talk to a lot of different verticals, a lot of different people, and there's more things in common with the way that we have to conduct business than people see on the surface. And when you start really diving down, if you're service-based business, like, we all have the same problems. It's just we're more of a high ticket item.
Right. And we're no longer, people can't just call us to come fix a pipe like they're calling for a plumber to fix a pipe or an electrician to fix an outlet. It's bigger than that.
Problem now is you can't even find a plumber.
Yeah, it's true.
Plumbers can't find plumbers. Electricians can't find electricians. That's a bigger problem. But no, comment down below. Let us know. Yeah, it's kind of a different change. Like, I'm willing to share the way that I'm changing the business. I'm an open book. So
cool. Well, that's it for this week. We went a little long, and like Chris said, comment below if you have a question for us. You want to actually hop on with us in a future event. I'm reaching out to some of the people that co-authored the Cybersecurity Minefield book with Chris and I last year to hop on and talk about what they do and how they do it, and provide some tips. Yeah. So watch out for future event.
And feel free to call me an idiot. I'm cool with that. I can live with that. But
I'm
next
sure
week
we'll be called worse.
Trust me, I've been called a lot worse. So, but we'll see you guys next week. We'll have a different topic for next week.